Hundreds of students walked out of classes this afternoon. See how they're showing support for Palestinians.
USC grad students hit the picket line today. We talked to the Dean of Graduate School and a student worker who's on the bargaining team.
Unhoused elderly people have a new home here in Willcox, Hollywood. I'm Jack Reed, and I'm here to tell you more.
USC students, faculty, and staff gathered in front of Tommy Trojan at 1:15 this afternoon to demand an end to the attacks on Gaza. Hi, I'm Neither Marnani.
And I'm Liv Kelleher. The Walkout was one of the biggest protests at USC in support of Palestinians.
Biden, you can't hide. We charge you with genocide.
Protesters were heard calling for the end of U.S. aid to Israel, Israel's operations in the Gaza Strip, and the, quote, genocide that is taking place against the Palestinian people. Protesters were also heard calling for another, quote, intifada, or uprising against the Israeli government. The protest was also meant to raise awareness of the Palestinian civilian lives lost, which have surpassed 10,000 since the war began on October 7th. The protest took place in the same spot where a similar demonstration in commemoration for Israeli lives lost was held last week.
The Graduate Student Workers Organization's committee held a last chance picket from 10 to 4 this afternoon. The union has been negotiating with the university since February. During that time, the union and the university had reached tentative agreements on graduate students' workers' ability to file grievances, childcare subsidies, and guaranteeing just cause protections for all discipline and discharge.
So one of those things is that their non-discrimination article excludes key protections for people that have been the victims of discrimination, of harassment, of abuse. And so that's one of the key things we're fighting for. The second thing is we need a fair wage, right? We need enough money to be able to live and work in Los Angeles. And the third thing is we want a strong union so that when we get that first contract, we're able to enforce it.
Grad students are demanding an immediate pay increase, future raises to match inflation, and guaranteed timely pay. According to the MIT Living Wage Calculator, USC graduate students, workers do not earn a living wage in Los Angeles.
So we feel we have an extremely robust policy that protects everybody at USC, irrespective of what program they're in or what their role is at the university. A strike would be disruptive. It would be divisive. We feel that right this time it's unwarranted because of the progress we've been making. So if you do not work, you do not get paid. If you do work, you do.
The next bargaining session between the union and the university is scheduled for Monday.
Now moving on to the homelessness crisis in LA. As a key component of Mayor Karen Bass's campaign, addressing the increasing number of unhoused is vital here in Los Angeles. Reporter Jack Reed is at the Willcox, a new project on the front lines of the crisis.
Thanks, Liv. 45 people have already moved here to the Willcox, an affordable housing project in East Hollywood. It opened on Monday with the primary directive to fight against the rising rate of homelessness amongst seniors. In addition to their 62 total units, the Willcox will provide services such as case management, mental health care, and more. Construction was accelerated after Mayor Karen Bass signed Executive Directive Number 1, meant to speed up and lower the cost of housing projects.
Provides, the affordable housing that folks need so that they can have a stable place to live. But I think I missed really what it does for the surrounding community. We just opened the Willcox, earlier this week, and we actually had some community members from the nearby, single family homes come and say, hey, what can we do? We're so grateful and happy to have this development here. It's so beautiful, and we really hope that these could be anchors for the community, and we want to get the community involved and have them come, meet our residents, meet our staff, really understand that this is the solution to ending homelessness in Los Angeles.
According to the Los Angeles Homeless Services Authority, there are 75,000 unhoused people across Los Angeles County. In addition, there are 20,000 unhoused people currently in interim housing. After Bass's directive Developer Wakeland Housing was able to open the Willcox 2 months early, securing housing for those in need and saving $1 million on what would have been builders' risk insurance and interest payments. Back to you in the studio, Neil.
Thanks, Jack. Today is the second day of a U.S. conference of mayors hosted by Karen Bass to address the issue of homelessness. The conference is meant to help share and create a successful national strategy to combat the crisis. Mayor Bass serves as the chair of the U.S. Mayors Homelessness Task Force. More than 20 mayors attended the conference. The mayors engaged with researchers, nonprofit leaders, and federal officials to brainstorm solutions to help unhoused people get the support they need. Mayor Bass reiterated her Inside Safe plan of buying motels as a way to provide housing.
I feel confident that if we had enough motel rooms, we could significantly reduce street homelessness, and I mean above 80%. But that model that we're using right now, long-term, is not financially sustainable. So you asked me what next steps are. Next steps are to do master leasing of motels, which dramatically reduce the rates, to purchase motels, and then there's a variety of other ways that we need to house people as well.
According to the U.S. Department of Housing and Urban Development, there are currently more than 230,000 Americans who are unsheltered and 350,000 who are sheltered. This makes up 580,000 Americans who are experiencing homelessness. The mayors emphasized that just providing housing is not enough. They said that a comprehensive and holistic approach, which incorporates mental health services, is required.
The Los Angeles City Council has banned overnight parking of recreational vehicles, or RVs, on certain LA streets on the city's west and south sides. The increased problem of oversized vehicles on local streets prompted the LA City Council to take the action. In an 11-2 vote, council members banned overnight parking along certain streets where the RVs have caused traffic issues and dangerous situations. These recreational vehicles have become home for many LA residents. Locals say some of the owners are great neighbors who get up each morning, lock up their RV, and head to work. Some RVs are kept neat and tidy while others overflow onto the sidewalks. According to a report by the LAist, the population of unhoused Angelenos that live in RVs has decreased to 6,800 in 2023. That's a 5% decrease from 2022, but still a 31% increase from 2020. City officials are struggling to identify safe land for these newly displaced RV owners to park, as Los Angeles currently has no safe parking sites for RVs.
Homeless Healthcare LA is one of the many nonprofits working to help the unhoused. The organization offers many services to people, including harm reduction, well-being, and housing. They have multiple hub spots around downtown LA, Skid Row, and the Westlake District. Located in Skid Row on Town Avenue, the Refresh Spot offers many services as long as people can provide some sort of government identification. The spot offers many services such as access to showers, hygiene kits, laundry, Wi-Fi connectivity, and charging stations.
I am technically homeless by HUD standards because I don't have a lease. I'm standing in a hotel. And I come and understand the services at the Refresh Spot often. It's been amazing for me using the Refresh Spot. They help me get refreshed, charge my phone, use the restroom, and they also offer clothes and sometimes snacks. It's great to have such amazing services here on Skid Row. I was placed in Skid Row 3 different times. Basically, I was unsatisfied with the placement, so I got placed 3 different times. And it got better. Hopefully I can get a cheaper and a bigger place to live that always helps.
Homeless Healthcare also offers harm reduction services like syringe exchange, overdose prevention, and wound care just around the corner from the Refresh Spot.
In addition to health care, the unhoused community is often lacking other basic needs like access to showers and clean clothes. The nonprofit The Laundry Truck is helping to restore a bit of dignity to the community by providing laundry services. The mobile laundry service cleans the clothes of LA's unhoused community free of charge. The nonprofit's founder says the impact goes far beyond just cleanliness.
Having clean clothes helps secure jobs, helps with housing, getting housing, feeling confident enough and secure enough in their own skin to reach out and to take the next steps. So it's a really empowering thing. Seems like a simple, obvious thing, but it's a really empowering thing.
The Laundry Truck LA has 3 trucks in their fleet and park in multiple different downtown locations daily.
Unlike some traditional soup kitchens, volunteers at the Hippie Kitchen bring food to the unhoused on the streets of Skid Row. Serving on Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Saturdays, the Hippie Kitchen offers hot meals of beans, bread, and salads. They also bring packaged meals to people in densely populated areas on Skid Row.
I am part of a community that runs a soup kitchen on Skid Row. It's called the Hippie Kitchen. A lot of folks around here know it, and it's been around for, at least 50 years at this point. We serve on Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Saturdays. Beans, salad, buttered bread. We change up the kind of bean. And we also have toiletries and sometimes clothing and other items as well. But a lot of us that run the kitchen also live in an intentional community over in Boyle Heights, and so we run the soup kitchen but also run that house of hospitality for some guests who used to live on the streets and now live with us.
Hippie Kitchen was founded in 1970 and ever since has been run by the Los Angeles Catholic Worker Organization.
The Midnight Mission is also located in the heart of Skid Row and has been around since 1914, making it the longest-standing organization in LA working to fight homelessness. The Midnight Mission is one of only a few places where the unhoused can take care of their necessities.
We feed almost 1,000 people a day, and we serve breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Skid Row area, we are one of 2 24/7 restrooms that are available to our unsheltered communities. We have medical care, we have counseling, we have an education center, we have job training, we have workforce development.
The Midnight Mission operates on a budget of more than $13 million a year. Nearly 30% of that funding comes from government grants, while the rest comes from contributions.
There's a new strategy aimed at preventing homelessness in Los Angeles, using artificial intelligence to help determine vulnerable individuals. A USC journalism professor sees the plan put forth by the Department of Health Services as a promising approach.
Got different agencies that are monitoring different parts of the problem, and it's so difficult often organizationally to get those agencies to work together. So it might sort of sound big, scary, matrixy when we say AI, but really what they're trying to do is better manage the data across different agencies. The biggest crisis we have is preventing people from falling into homelessness in the first place. And so if you can figure out different people who might be falling into that risk group, and you can address that ahead of time, and you can use machine learning to see patterns in that data to identify them, then that could be really helpful.
In its 2-year pilot, the majority of individuals located through this program have stayed housed, but the program is conducting a longer-term survey to determine its effectiveness.
Thanks for watching tonight's episode of See It Live. From everybody here at Annenberg Media, I'm Liv Kelleher.
And I'm Neela Murnani. For more coverage, watch and subscribe to our YouTube channel at youtube.com/Annenberg Media. Good night and fight on.